y'all, it's Lulu. I was at the Dollar Tree today and I saw these cute little sun bonnets, and I thought they could also be an Easter bonnet. So I was wondering, gee, can I decoupage this? I mean, you can stick a napkin on just about anything, right? So I went ahead and purchased one, and I came home and I just had to do it right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you as I figure this out. So let's see what we can do with this. First I took the tag off, of course, and then I am taking, there's a little floral on it. Now, this is not all wicker or rattan or whatever it is. It's got some like nylon that is weaving the hat together. So I know that my heat tool is going to be too hot and probably melt it. So in order to get the flower off without tearing it, I'm really carefully applying a little bit of heat so I can just kind of peel it off. So I'm trying to soften that glue without melting the hat. So that's what I am doing. I'm just trying to peel it a little bit, and I get the flower off, and there's a little clump of glue, so I'm going to try to melt that a little bit so that I can spread that in there a little more. Now, when I was picking out what I wanted to use as a napkin over the top of this, I also realized if you have tissue paper, you could use a tissue paper. So you can use a napkin, you can use rice paper or tissue paper. I had this really cute pack of lemon napkins, and I wasn't sure how many napkins it was going to take. I wanted something that didn't have a defined pattern, so when you're tearing the pieces, you would be able to, you wouldn't have to be so concerned about matching it up because there are no defined lines. It's just a bunch of lemons and leaves on, on this napkin. So it's not going to hurt. Now remember to remove the ply. This one is a 2-ply napkin. I already removed the ply on this one. I'll show you how to remove it on the next napkin I use. So I'm just seeing how this lays down. Now, I also, when I use a napkin, I remove the straight lines from it, because when you have a straight line on the napkin, it's going to look like you're gonna see a line when you decoupage it down. So you want to make sure that you kind of rough up the edges on that, and that way it doesn't look like it needs to be lined up perfectly. So I'm trying to see how this is going to go over the curve of the hat on the top, and I figure the best thing to do is just try to take a piece that's going to go over the top of the hat, over the sides a little bit, and then I'll work from the top down. I am going to use Mod Podge, the fabric Mod Podge. So as I was doing this, and then I needed something to put the hat on to make it a little easier because it is so soft that it collapses. So, if you have something you can shove up underneath there, a vase or something, that would work as well. A big can, that was a coffee container that I had saved. So, we save everything. So this is fabric Mod Podge. And I have not used this, so I am, this is a first for that too. And the reason I'm using fabric Mod Podge is because it does say it can be washed in the washing machine. So my thought process on this is, even though it's a napkin, that I'm going to have a better seal, and if it gets wet, it's not going to tear apart, and I can use the Mod Podge to seal it. So now I thought I wanted a pouncy brush, because I've seen people do napkins on baskets. So in my mind, I'm thinking this is like a basket, right? So I'm using a pouncy brush on that. And you want to put Mod Podge first on the hat, and then get it on there, and then put some Mod Podge on the brush to do the top. Now I'm tearing this a little bit because that Mod Podge is just too thick. I need to thin it out. So in a second I'll figure that out, and I'll be adding a little distilled water to it. Now because this is going to dry, you can add regular tap water. I just keep distilled water in my craft room, so I'll be using distilled water. But it's laying down really nice. Once I figure out that I can thin it out, it will go a lot faster. It's so thick that that's why the napkin was tearing. And you don't want to oversaturate it because then the napkin will start to clump up and tear also. So if you've ever Mod Podged, this is going to be a real easy project for you, or decoupaged. It's going to be an easy project for you. And you'll see that as you're doing it. I will be speeding up in a little bit, but I wanted to talk more about just the process, my thought process behind it. You know, you can Mod Podge tennis shoes. There's all kinds of things that you can Mod Podge. And so I was thinking, why not do the hat? I thought it'd be really cute. I was thinking like Easter bonnets. You could, if you had a few daughters or granddaughters, you could make them matching hats. You could even make a hat for yourself and have all the girls in the family wear the same, you know, fabric or material that you're using for the hat. So there I'm adding a little bit of the distilled water to it. And then I'm also going to change brushes because this brush is not the best brush to be using for it, for the pouncing. It's just not, it's working fine, but it's not really working the way I want. I've seen people use thin brushes before, so on baskets, so I'll eventually change over to a thin brush. So we have, what is it, Kentucky Derby's coming up, so you could do some really cute things with some wild napkins for the Kentucky Derby, because they do at the Dollar Tree have adult size hats also. So I did get myself one because I will be making myself a hat. I picked a bandana fabric out that I'm going to use for myself, but I wanted to try it on this children's hat first, and I thought let's go ahead and record it so I can show y'all, you know, since this is my first time, I'll be better the next time, but you know, just to show you how it wasn't something I've done before and how you can actually just, if you have a napkin, you have some Mod Podge, and you got a hat, there you go, you're ready to go. So this is really, that Mod Podge is real sticky, so it's sticking to everything. And if you tear the napkin, you just remove the piece that you tore and go ahead and just keep adding. You will not see the seam. If you have a little piece where you missed a spot, you can easily just, during that time, just take a little piece of your napkin and go over it, or when you're done with the project, you can just look around and see if there's any spots you missed, and then just take a little piece of napkin and some Mod Podge and go over it and get that reapplied on the little spot you missed. So I love lemons. This is just a really bright color. And so you're thinking lemons, lemonade, springtime, summertime, and who doesn't need a hat that time of year? A sun hat is the best thing to have. So this would be a great garden hat if you wanted to do, you know, have one for the garden. In fact, I got some really cute garden napkins. I might do, I actually bought 2 adult hats, so maybe I'll do one for the garden also. I was just wishing I had a little granddaughter because I would love to be making a hat for her. This is just such a cute idea. And you could even do it and make a floral decoration out of it. You know, you don't have to use it as a hat. You can make it like a basket and turn it upside down. So just keep in mind if you do that which way your pattern's going. So if you're going to turn it upside down, you can make put one of those floral liners in it, a little plastic tub inside there, and do a floral arrangement. That would be, oh, I just thought of that. That would be a great idea. So I'm just going to show you, and then I'll be speeding this video up a little. See how I changed brushes, and it's working a lot better. So you just continue to just thin out a little bit of Mod Podge at a time because you don't want to, you know, waste it. So just do a little bit, add more if you need it, you know, just here and there. Save your little pieces of the napkin because that's what you'll be using when you are doing your patching. So I think this takes 4 napkins total, and they're just lunch-sized beverage napkins. So if I had a larger napkin, I wouldn't have needed as many. But the lemons, again, they don't really need to match up. The leaves, it's kind of an abstract. It's just like a bushel or a basket of lemons and leaves and just, just on the napkin. So there's no rhyme or reason or any reason that you need to have everything lined up. So this is looking really cute. I'm sorry it's difficult to video this part of it, but I'm trying to show you as well as I can. But again, if you've decoupaged anything before, you'll see. But so notice how I'm patting with the back side of the brush instead of rubbing it or brushing hard. That brush ended up being the best brush to use, a nice flat brush. So you want to just add your Mod Podge on the hat, and then you're going to go ahead and apply the napkin over it. Now you also can do a basket. Baskets are great to use this method on. So if you have any old baskets laying around, or you go to the thrift store or garage sale and it's in good shape, pick up a basket. They look beautiful when you transform them like this. In fact, I have so many of those napkins, I might go ahead and do a basket for lemons, and that'd be a great gift. Also, thinking of hostess gifts, that would be a great hostess gift. It would be you could do an Easter basket with that using some Easter napkins. So again, it's the same process, it's just that it's a basket instead of a hat. So there's so many things you can use this technique for. So this is turning out really cute. I will be speeding up the video. You'll be able to see in fast time how quickly we get this through. The total video took me from start to finish about 65 minutes, a little over an hour. So it's not that difficult of a process. I've never done it before, so now the next time I do it, I might be able to do it a little faster, especially because I won't be doing a recording. So I'm just making sure that all the little edges are down, because you don't want to have them sticking out, because if the Mod Podge hardens, then it won't be as easy to smooth it out. So smooth it out while it's wet. That's the best thing to do. So I'm just, just tear little pieces along the way if you don't like the way they're laying, and then just add more. So again, this takes about 4 napkins, so we should be pretty good to go with getting that done. But look at this, is coming along beautifully. Just smoothing and adding, that's all you're gonna do. Let's see, this is beautiful. All right, let's go. right, so that was fun, and just as you saw, it was just piecing it together. And again, this only took about 65 minutes to do from start to finish. So now what I'm doing is just drying it a little bit, because what I want to do is I want to tear the edges. And when you do decoupage work, your Mod Podge work, you know how you can like trim the napkin edges, but if it's too wet, you're going to tear that, and there might be a couple areas you're going to see that are a little too wet, and I end up tearing them, but I just patch them back up. That's as simple as that. So also I'm going to add a little, while I let this dry a little bit, I'm going to just put a little bit of rickrack around that. I have a lime green rickrack. I thought it would look cute with it, and then we'll put a couple flowers on it. Let's just seal up that Mod Podge really quick though, because we don't want it drying out and getting clumps in it, because I am done with it. I have a little bit left in the tray if I need to do some patchwork. So just cleaning my fingers off a little bit, trying to get some of that glue off, and I'm going to see if that rickrack looks good. It looks good. I might have done something different to it, but this is just my first go at it, and so just figuring it needs something to go around the hat like that, and it looks cute. It looks cute. I'm selling myself on it. It looks cute. Yeah, it really does look cute. But so I love working with rickrack, because it's giving when you're going in a circle, wrapping around something circular or with a curve to it. So I'm just affixing the rickrack to the hat, and then I will use a little tight bond to put it together, and then pick a couple flowers, and we should be good to go. Then we'll need to just trim around the brim of the hat a little more, and once we get that trimmed up, it just needs to set. So, and there's no more, because we're putting the Mod Podge on the hat and on the outside of the napkin. That's the seal. It will dry hard. It should wipe up nicely after it sets if it gets dirty or anything. But it's just the cutest little hat. We're not doing the inside because it doesn't need to be done. So it's just like a nice wicker inside, straw hat on the inside, and it's just a little sunbonnet, or it could be, again, depending on how you decorate it, could be a nice little Easter bonnet. Or for mom and daughter, you could have little matching hats for Mother's Day, or for the Kentucky Derby, which is before Mother's Day. So it's just a fun thing, or just for an outing, sun hat outing, anything. Little girls love to dress up, and so you could have them help you with this hat, making it together, because it's just putting, you could tear the napkin and have your child put it on for them, put it on there. You could do a baseball hat for a boy. You could do the brim of a baseball hat or the front of it. Mod Podge is just a fun thing to do, and there's so many different things you can do with Mod Podge. You can do a bag. You can do a straw purse. You can do a basket. I mean, as far as accessory items go, it's just, you can do tennis shoes. There's so many different things that you can do with Mod Podge, and it's just a fun thing. I do it with my grandson when we're together. We do Mod Podge pictures. We did a treasure chest. There's just so many things, but so this was just something I wanted to try. It's a little different. And I'm just putting the glue on the flower right now, and once we're done with that, I am going to end up adding a couple more flowers after. I thought it looked better to I have 3 flowers on it after all, at the final product. And so again, just trimming the edges once they're dry, just making sure that you're very careful. You can sand it if I would have waited, but I wanted to show you as much of the finished project as I could. And so, but you can sand it using the gator sander, like you see on my desk there next to the scissors, that yellow gator sander. So you can trim it the best you can while it's wet, but I would recommend, since if you're not recording this, I would recommend waiting till it dries and then using the gator sander or scissors to trim it up. Thank you for joining me. This is Lulu with Crafting Anonymous, and if you could please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in a future video. Thank you for joining me.